John Madole.
John Madole.
John Madole.
John, just being raised in this community, he cares so much about this community, and he is such a part of this industry. Even though he doesn't have the, tool bags on, he represents our industry. I mean, you talk about AGC, everybody knows John Madole.
Congratulations to John Madole for receiving a well-deserved Sir Award. John's had 40 years of service to AGC. My personal experience is John has always been a gentleman. He's been a great advocate for the industry in Nevada. He's been somebody who has the respect of his peers in the industry, his chapter execs, and those of us on the national staff.
John and I worked together in the financial aid office at the university where we were finding placement for students. A listing came in from AGC looking for, I think it was part-time work. Well, the only person I think that saw that card was John, because he's been here ever since.
We grew up together, basically most of our lives, different schools of course, and did go to the military together, yeah. Joined the Navy Reserves, and he went to California and I went to Vietnam, so little difference there. I have no idea why that happened, unless he paid somebody off.
Well, my dad still is stuck in 1970s pricing. He believes a quart of oil still costs 87 cents. He thinks a light bulb's worth $10 though, so his ability to maintain his frugality is definitely legendary.
And I met John in the reserves. I had run out of money, so I needed some additional income, so I joined the Navy Reserves. And I think John was in the same situation, having gotten out of active duty. So we served together at the Reserve Center, protecting the country and doing the best we could. A lot of times we'd go to the Reserve Center, we'd make up meetings sometimes on Saturday mornings. But what we would do is we'd go down to the Reserve Center, we'd sign in, and then we'd go to Kaya Squeeze In on North Virginia and have a nice breakfast, and then go back and get back to protecting the country.
When I first met him, he was second in command at AGC, but he gradually ended up having the reign, and he's been doing a fantastic job.
Oh, great big family, yeah. There was 4 kids, and of course his mom and dad, and just amazing family. He lived in that small house, but his folks did a great job. Absolutely, his father and his uncle, I mean, they were very talented people. Now, I don't know what happened to John. I think maybe his brothers and sisters maybe got some of the talent. And I think John just missed the boat.
Yeah, my dad got a 49 Ford pickup. I believe it was from his uncle or his dad.
Oh, that old truck? Well, I saw most of the truck I saw was the back of it because I was pushing it. John could never really seem to afford the gas. And it's either broke down or out of gas, so.
And he kept that thing running until he still had it into the 2000s. Had the original flathead motor, the original 6-volt system, and he was able to maintain that all the way from my high school career and beyond. Well, construction's definitely in the blood. His dad was a contractor, both of his brothers are contractors, his brother-in-law is a contractor, and he fancies himself somewhat of a contractor. He's never had a license, nor has he had any official training, but he has remodeled every square inch of every house he has ever owned, inside and outside. OSHA would have shut down him many times had they ever been around his job sites.
He has had to deal with egos in our business, a lot of us leading construction company people, and he has led us in a very unassuming manner. And that capability for him to lead a bunch of high ego construction leaders is really the epitome of skill, integrity, and responsibility.
John seems to be able to balance and keep everybody happy, and that's a trait that not many of us have.
You know, it's a tough group, multiple personalities, multiple egos in some cases, a lot of things that happen, and I think that somehow John's maneuvered through it in an unbelievable manner. I don't know how he does it, to be honest with you, or how he's stayed here this long.
With a cast of characters like we are, keeping that group together, that's a real challenge. And John's done a great job.
Over the last 40 years has become a diplomat. I mean, he's a great representative for AGC. And he's somebody that we can all be proud of, that he's doing the best thing for the organization.
Running the AGC is not an easy task. I think it's very hard. It's a job. I wouldn't do it for $1 million a month.
John has done a great job in getting our industry involved in the legislative process. Years back, we weren't near as involved, and I think as a result, a lot of bills got passed that were harmful to construction. And now, John makes sure that we're totally aware of those things, and we have more of a presence.
I've been in business so many years, negotiating many contracts and everything, but the way John was handling, I was feeling so comfortable we were going to obtain what we wanted even before we start.
Yeah, with the negotiations being successful, it always puts the people back to work.
And every time we sit down at the table looking sideways one each other. When we get out the table, we all shake hands, we all smile, and we're all friends.
But John is somebody that can always, seems like he can always bring consensus from people and get people to work together and end up with a win-win for everybody.
John stands his ground when he needs to for the construction industry. I can remember one story where he went down to Governor Miller's office and I believe got thrown out of the office for standing his ground.
I don't know how many times I've asked him to come join me for 9 holes of golf, late afternoon, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and he never, ever took me up on it. And of course, this may explain why he's such a shitty golfer.
Yes, I have played golf with John Madole, and that's probably one of the weaknesses we just would rather not talk about.
Oh, he's a great golfer. I don't know.
I can tell you that I was present when John had his famed hole-in-one. I was in his foursome, and I can attest to the fact that he's the worst golfer I've ever seen to get a hole-in-one.
What I learned from John is patience. I'm not sure I learned it very well.
He is not a person that draws a conclusion on anything that he hears immediately.
Very good teacher. He never get excited. He had a lot of patience for a long time.
I think this is the reason why he has kept us out of trouble many times.
One of the things I can say that he really helped me learn about the modern day era is that with emails, make sure you wait a day or two before you hit send after you write them, because they can create some problems if you don't.
The one thing that my dad made sure he taught all of us was responsibility. Didn't matter if you wanted a paper route, that meant you kept a paper route. And it was commitment and responsibility were probably the biggest things he taught us.
I've learned from him on how to take an issue, get broad-based support with coalition, get it passed from a grassroots level through our state, and then take that all the way to the legislature. And things that, like I taught him this last legislative session, was how to communicate with his grandkids through a text message.
John he's very tough at work and very dedicated and very structured. And I think when you get him outside of it, he's like most of us. He's just a normal person. You have to put on your work face when you go to work. And then John enjoys himself when he's off, and he enjoys his family.
The one thing that I always remember about John is the way that he brought his family into his work business, into his business. It was unbelievable the way he made us a part of his family and made his family a part of us in this construction industry.
Through all the years, the one thing that kept him going, kept him coming to AGC every day, and it kept him just getting up out of bed and shaving every morning was just his 4 sons and his wife and what he did for them, and the sacrifices he has made are just phenomenal.
I can count on my one single hand my friends, and he's one of those.
We probably take John for granted a little too much because he would be a tough act to follow. His shoes are big to fill.